Weiss did not mince words, posting, quote, and this piece doesn't even touch on her truly bat's bleep views about Brigitte Macron. That it took the Daily Wire this long to sever ties with Candace Owens is alarming. Ex-presidential hopeful Marianne Williamson also jumped in, posting, quote, Candace Owens didn't lose her job because she opposes Israel. She lost her job because she has said and is continuing to say vile things about Jews ourselves. She knows this, and she is conflating the two for a reason. She will now come after me, of course, et cetera, et cetera.
Owens firing from a supposedly pro-free.
All right, so what's up, y'all? Welcome back. So, okay. This whole situation with Candace has turned into this weird beef on Twitter. It's just been a lot. Candace also answering questions about the firing. There's more of a response from Candace. We're going to go ahead and get into that. I just wanted to see what the Hill had to say about this. In fact, I really wanted to see what the young black lady on the Hill had to say. I don't know her name, sorry. So let's just hear just a little bit more, and then we'll go into the details of that and the lack of response from Candace's friends on the Daily Wire.
Free speech outlet did leave some wondering if it was an act of censorship or at the very least cancel culture. Journalist Glenn Greenwald pounced on Weiss and company, posting, quote, same was true when the New York Times fired editors for publishing the Tom Cotton op-ed. Yet most of the right, along with Bari Weiss, treated that as a grave act of censorship. Viewpoint-based firings are exactly the sort of thing the right has long condemned as cancel culture.
Glenn Greenwald, I will always give him much respect. This is one person who doesn't let, to me anyway, a single aspect of their identity to get in the way of finding the truth and reporting the truth. Glenn Greenwald also does not live in America because of some of the truth that he has reported. So shout out to Glenn Greenwald.
Greenwald also posted excerpts from a piece that Weiss wrote in 2021 in which she warned of deplatforming as a consequence of speaking out. Quote, ideas.
Okay, so we're not going to keep going into Bari Weiss. I just kind of want to see their little discussion over this or whatever. So let's just see that, and then we'll get into some more information.
It's okay. Well, it's justified, they're saying, because she's an anti-Semite, and it said, that's their.
That's what they said.
You get into this weird position where you do end up looking hypocritical, I think.
It's the problem that. Look, I have been a critique of the weaponization of identity politics since that was the beginning of my foray into journalism. But that's a very different thing from making the argument that identity doesn't matter. And what I think some critics of some of the more right-leaning people who have made identity politics their bête noire over the last 5, 6, 7, 10 years or so, is that what it sometimes reads as is not that they think identity politics are bad, but they think that your identity doesn't matter and their identity does. So it's all about being victimized if you're...
Yeah, okay, so I get the point that she's making there, but I'm just trying to get to meat and potatoes. I just want to see these people's opinion on what happened here. So we just kind of went into this thing about identity politics. I'm just trying to see something, and if it doesn't work, we'll just move right on.
That are anti-Semitic, which I see people making the accusation, and I'd be interested to see the evidence of that, or if the critique is because she has a different view about Zionism and what is going on in Gaza than other people at the Daily Wire.
Right. So there are some criticisms of her that I think are valid, even along anti-Semitism lines. Mediaite reports that she liked a tweet saying that Jews were drunk on Christian blood.
Okay, so I have to be careful now. She did like a certain tweet. Okay, maybe she just liked the tweet, okay, let me move on. Okay, do we want to do this or do we not want to do this? There's a lot of history that's not told to people, and the Bolsheviks' history is one of them. Okay, all right, I'm going to move on because they're not, I'm not really safe like they are. So we're just gonna go ahead and move on. And so there is a response to this. There we go. I hope y'all can hear.
Okay, one last question. Candace, you've made a lot of changes in the past 48 hours. What does the future hold for you?
I love change. I really do. And I've always embraced it. And at every point in my career, I've known when it's time to go to the next level, and there's something bigger that I'm after, a bigger concept that I'm after, or something that I'm understanding. And, I very much understand right now that we are in the midst of an awakening. all around the world, people are understanding that things are backwards and things are wrong. And there's something about it. We talked about this the other day that feels very spiritual. I am a Christian, and for me, even that Christianity being somehow treated like it's dirty. There's this rise of this term Christian nationalism in America. People that are basically trying to pervert faith, family, all of these things are attacking this crucial pillar of faith. And I plan on just making everything that I have done even bigger and giving myself more independence and more freedom to talk about the topics that I believe are crucial.
Now, let me just stop Candace for a second. I don't know if you guys noticed, somebody got up and walked away. They walked out, and that was on purpose. I just know it was like that was on purpose.
Are going to save ourselves and to save this world from these evil, maniacal, psychopathic globalists that want to monitor every piece of our lives. So tons of stuff coming up. I'm excited. And I'm grateful that so many people around the world have just supported me on my journey.
Well, that's good. There were people clapping, and that's really good. That is good.
Because at the end of the day, my loyalty will always be to truth.
Well, we'll support you very much, Candace, and thank you so much for...
So she must have been at some sort of event, and they were talking and asking, and she answered that pretty good right there. Now, let me be clear. I've not always been a Candace fan. I probably said this already in a video. I just kind of felt like Candace Owens, when it came to the situation with what's his name, Crowder, that she took it too far. She wanted to get in touch with his wife. I was like, yo, what is she doing? So I always kind of felt like, you're really grifting hard, and she was going hard for the Daily Wire at that time. Like, oh, they're your friends, da da da. Like, yeah, well, is anybody their friends? I don't know. What she just said about Christian nationalism, like, we're not going to get all the way religious. Of course, we're not, right? But there is this thing that Christianity should lay down and take it, right? I understand what she means. So this is what sparked this whole argument on Twitter saying Christ is king if it's anti-Semitic or whatever. And obviously it's not. Now you can say a person who says it, they might be anti, like however they use it. That's between that person and God. That's how I feel. We cannot, and look, it doesn't matter if you're Christian or not. Don't start allowing people to say any word is a bad word, like that can't be used, okay, or that you might be reprimanded for. Now, for somebody who might say that I'm being hypocritical with the N-word, I have no problem with people using that word. I mean, I don't think you should go to work calling your patients or your customers that word, right? That would be ridiculous. That's on. But me, I'm like, use whatever word you need to use. We do not need to. We have laws to deal with people who want to hurt people. Okay, so we don't need to take it any further than that. So that was the whole thing. But what I'm looking for, please forgive me, hold on. There is an absolute video that talks about this, and really, what I'm paying more attention to is the fact that Matthew Knowles or Andrew Clavin, they had nothing to say. Well, we could just look them up. They had nothing to say about Candace Owens, leaving. Nothing. So here we go. This is I gotta be careful. Okay, so
you'll still be a Jew. And I said, well, I am. That's my race. I'm a Jew. I'm proud of my race. It's a great race. It's done many, many great things, including write the Bible. And,
there's this thing about taking. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I probably should not have made this. There's this weird thing about taking, ownership. Like, we did that. Like, bro, it would have been written even if rocks had to write it. Okay. Like, maybe I should not. Insane, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thank you.
Satan does in the Bible. You are quoting scripture to your purposes. And that to me is specifically wicked. When you spit that phrase at Ben Shapiro, my friend, Ben Shapiro, and I understand this. All of you who love Ben, and I love Ben and Jordan Peterson, you all want to see them find Jesus because you know what joy and freedom that gives you, and you certainly feel that it alters your relationship with God. But when I think about this, to be honest with you, and I know some people will disagree with this, but life is not a game show where you guess the name of God and you get to go to heaven. Honk, yes, the name is Jesus. I look at Ben's life and I think if Ben were to embrace Jesus Christ, it would cause devastation to his family, to the people who love him, to the people who listen to him, to his position in the world. I just have this feeling that God has put this guy where he wants him to.
Okay, going to stop right there. Y'all marinate on that because I'm not going to do the call for Christianity here. I'm not going to do it right here for you. This is not that channel, but Andrew Clavin is a little bit out of line, but whatever. So yeah, let me see. Michael Knowles, right? And I just, because it's like, bro, like y'all just don't. And so this is Michael Knowles not saying anything.
Great. Yeah, this news just broke about, I don't know, an hour or two before the show started this morning. So Candace has parted ways with the Daily Wire. I forget how exactly they phrased it. I think Jeremy announced it on his Twitter and said the Daily Wire and Candace have ended their relationship. So I don't have some grand statement to make about that. I don't think it's my place as a host on this network to make some grand statement about it. Because this is a very personal business and a personal company, a particularly personal company, the relationships already. You know that I am a close personal friend of Candace and the godfather to her daughter. Her husband, George, is one of my best friends.
And so we'll stop there. So he basically went on to say that he wasn't going to say anything about it. Now, I'm going to keep it real. I know that Michael Knowles was not going to make some grand statement, though. I just feel like it could have been still said a certain way. Like, Candace is a very talented woman, and I'm sorry to see her go. I do kind of have my own feelings about this, and I'm working through them. Boom. But he's already like, I'm not saying anything about it. But you're the godfather of her kids. So it's kind of weird to me. It actually makes me feel like uncomfortable with the fact that he's the godfather of their kids, because that's a big position and you can't even be there for your friends. So I don't know. I mean, hey, whatever, right? I mean, who am I? I'm not there to know, like maybe they've talked about and they work things out, and that's good for them if they have, but it just shows. I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop making that point. The hypocrisy of the freedom fighting movement. There is no freedom fighting movement. It's frustrating. It's lame. Like it is because what the Daily Wire really, really showed us is that, free speech until we don't like it, straight up. And that's just really what it is.